Kevin Costner is basically a merman.
Merman. Yeah.
He's a merman. The whole town is like, how dare the fish man exist? Burn him, put him in the cage, douse him into some sort of weird mud stew. But 5 seconds ago, you were cool just like hawking some girl in the town to him. Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, joined with fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Woolscroft.
Filming on open water and staying in budget is a myth.
Just like dry land.
I've
heard dry land, it's a myth. Although, honestly, John, like, whenever we talk about Waterworld, my brain immediately goes to Cable Guy. And dry land is not a myth. I've seen it. Kevin Costner, Waterworld. That's where my brain goes at when we're talking Waterworld. But we're going to be talking Waterworld today.
And it's funny that you should say that because that was our second ever Really That Awful.
It's true.
And this is another example of Really That Awful, question mark. Waterworld. We're giving Waterworld a second chance here. Does it deserve
we are giving it a second
flack,
chance,
or is it undeserved?
Yeah. I got to be honest with you, and I'll be the first to say this. This was my first time watching Waterworld in completion. Like, I'd obviously seen clips of it, but I had never just gone and said, I'm going to sit down and watch Waterworld, primarily because of how much of a turd I've heard this film is.
It's my first time since I was 10 years old.
So at 10, you went to the theater?
Yeah.
And saw this? So you were sucked in by the marketing to go see Kevin Costner?
It was a big summer blockbuster at the time. So I think we just went because it was just some tentpole popcorn movie that was out.
Yeah. It was 95.
Yeah.
Coming right off the heels of Batman Forever. And you're just like, there's no such thing as a bad movie. I'll just go watch it. And
yeah.
You walk away, you're just going like, what the fuck did I just watch? But before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of Waterworld, let me take a moment to just tell you that, hey, if this is your first time watching or listening to us here, you should do us a favor and you should follow us on your favorite podcast app of choice by going to cinemapsychoshow.com/follow. Yep. See the little thingy right there? Yep. Right down there in the bottom. Go there and you can subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app of choice. We got buttons right there. And of course, if you are watching us here on YouTube, hey, thank you so much for doing that. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, like us, and let us know down in the comments. What do you think of Kevin Costner's Waterworld? Let us know. I really do want to know if people like this movie or hate it. I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, John. When I was doing reviews for this movie, because we do have our review section towards the end, I was surprised that there were more positive ones than I thought.
This really has fallen into that classic cult status, movies. It is
a true thing. And I would pose the question to anyone who deals with a bad movie, or maybe you were yourself or the filmmaker, you put a movie out and it kind of bombs. Here's the thing. Time can be a benefit. and if your film develops a little bit of a cult following, that benefit can turn your, shit turd of a film into a fine cult wine, if you will. Let me get to the synopsis for this for people who maybe are really young and they've never seen Waterworld before. Okay. Because John and I are old fucks. So we knew what Waterworld was, but.
Or maybe you've gone to Universal Studios Hollywood, which still has the Waterworld attraction. Does it
still exist?
Yeah, and I'm guaranteed 99% of the people that see that attraction have never seen the movie. They just cool explosions in water. Yeah,
ooh, explosions. But let me get to the obligatory IMDb synopsis here, and I'm going to try to do it in my movie theater voice. Okay, so I got to prepare for this. In a future where the polar ice caps have melted and Earth is almost entirely submerged, a mutated mariner fights starvation and outlaw smokers and reluctantly helps a woman and a young girl try to find dry land.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. How was that? Was that good?
That was good. Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah. In a world covered in water. There was
Don LaFontaine, rest in peace.
Yeah.
The best movie theater voice. Like, I remember as a kid, and this is totally not even all related to fucking Waterworld, but I remember when you had the movie trailer voice going, you were just like, I don't care if this movie sounds like shit. I still want to go to it just because of his voice.
Yeah, like a movie like Turbulence, it sounds really great.
Or like Speed 2 Cruise Control. the best of the speeds, right?
Oh, of course. Of any movie, actually.
Of any speed, but of course this one. Yeah. Oh man. Well, John, I mentioned this was my first time kind of seeing this one in completion. I got to ask you the question, since this was your first time seeing it since you were 10. What were kind of your initial thoughts going into this film?
So what I remember is enjoying this to a degree. I didn't love it when I was a kid, but so I wanted to give it a second chance, but also I realized that I was 10 years old. So what credit can I give to my reviews of a film when I was only 10 and in the 4th grade? So I know that this movie has gotten a lot of crap that I think, and we'll go into it, is based on the ballooning budget of the movie and and the disaster behind the scenes, that maybe that is giving it more flack than the movie itself. So I was like, well, let's give it a second go. Let's give it another shot. And we'll see now that 3 decades have gone by, will I still enjoy this as a grown ass man, or, does it deserve, Ishtar on Water, as some of the reviewers have said.
Ishtar on Water. That's a film that I have not seen, but I know how bad it is. Through the grapevine of film people. But John, I went into this movie not expecting a lot. I was very much just like, well, it's Kevin Costner coming right off the heels of, like, this was 95, so I think he had done right after he did like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
It's 5 years after that. Yeah.
5 years after that.
Yeah.
Okay. So like he's in the mode of I'm an action star, but he's yet to get into the I only do Westerns, which is where he's at now, right?
This is kind of a wet Western.
It's a wet Western.
Yeah.
But like this was when Kevin Costner tried to be action. And I know like this movie and The Postman, which that
could be one we do.
That is one we absolutely have to do, but that is a pantheon of utter shit. Okay. But like it was these sort of like post-apocalyptic movies. You had like The Postman, Waterworld, No Escape. Do you remember No Escape with Ray Liotta?
Vaguely. I didn't see it.
Oh, that's such a good one. It's terrible, but very good. So like these sort of weird post-apocalyptic movies were all coming out right around the mid 90s. And, this one just kind of took the cake for being like the most insane, the most audacious, the worst one. Like Waterworld was a literal joke. So I think before we can even get into the plot of this fucking thing, we need to talk about the behind the scenes of it, because the behind the scenes is pretty interesting. I mean, you alluded to the fact that there was like behind the scenes drama that like I think contributed to this movie being as bad as it is. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cause I remember coming out of the theater and my old man saying, where did they spend all that money? Like, how is that the most expensive movie ever made? Not knowing that, like, shooting on open water is going to destroy cameras and delay filming and, things of that nature. But initially, writer Peter Rader and Brad Crevoy, I'm probably butchering his name, they honestly admitted that they wanted to do a Mad Max ripoff. So
that's because that's what I thought it was. I thought this was Mad Max, but on water.
Yeah, it's kind of like that whole Die Hard thing, like Die Hard on a boat, Die Hard in a sky, well, Die Hard is Die Hard in a skyscraper, but so they use it as direct, inspiration, finger quotes, for the movie, and citing also like Old Testament stories, story of Helen of Troy. That's why that character's name is Helen in the movie. But yeah, it took about 7-8 years to get to screen. But then the production, to get into the actual production of it, Spielberg warned them, do not shoot on open water. For the love of God, I know what I'm talking about. I made Jaws. It nearly killed me. I nearly killed everybody on set. Do not shoot on open water. Shoot in big tanks.
But why is that, John? For the novice who's like the next Spielberg who's listening to our podcast, which, hey, thank you for being a listener, next Spielberg. But for the person who is like, I don't know what the big fucking deal is, why is it such an issue to shoot on open water?
Because the weather is terrible and unpredictable. So you could even just simply have a day. Let's not talk about a disaster happening. You could have a day where it's going to rain all day, and if it's not raining in any of the scenes, you can't shoot that day, and you're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars a day when you don't shoot. But if we go to the other end of things, if you suddenly get torrential rains and winds and you can't get all the equipment protected and sheltered by the time, as the storm starts, now all of a sudden you've ruined 35 millimeter camera, you've ruined some microphones, and you got to just do a checklist of, okay, how much money did we just lose the studio today on equipment? And then you can't, and maybe that delays shooting even further. It's any number of things can and will go wrong if you shoot on open water.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
It's why Cameron shot Titanic in big tanks in a covered studio.
Yeah, this is one of those things where on paper it might sound good, right? Like I can imagine a world in which the producers of Waterworld were like, well, you know what doesn't cost any money? Shooting on open water. I don't have to rent a studio. I don't have to build a tank. I can just shoot on open water because it's free.
Yeah.
But as you said, John, there are a lot more liabilities because it's an uncontrolled environment. That is something. I mean, Jesus Christ, John, I remember when we were working on your movie and I was doing sound for your short, and the uncontrollable nature of the fucking wind was ruining
ripping
things.
Through the trees. Yeah.
It was ripping through the trees. So like it was totally a thing where like that was just the wind. Imagine you've got, again, millions worth in investment in this thing, and you're on open water and you're at the behest of fucking nature. Yeah. So yeah.
So the film originally had a budget of $100 million, which was pretty big for
that's still pretty
95.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it ballooned to somewhere between 175 to 200 million, depending on which bean counter you ask at Universal Studios. And then you take into another 100 million in advertising. So now you got like a $300 million movie.
God knows this movie needed every red fucking cent of advertising.
So and another big issue is if you take nature out of the consideration, you have to take into consideration egos of man and
but John, their actors don't have egos. They do it for the love of the craft,
the love of the game. Yeah, which I think is another Kevin Costner movie.
That is, I think. Whenever you've got like a play on words, it's a Kevin Costner movie. But I think I'm going to go down to Yellowstone. The Kevin Costner show, you mean?
Yeah. But director Kevin Reynolds and Kevin Costner, they were thick as thieves, and maybe it's because they both have the name Kevin. I don't know, but they had worked on a lot of productions together, and this one was where they were filming on the fly, didn't have a finished script, sometimes didn't have a script at all, and Kevin Costner, hot off of like Dance with the Wolves, is like, I'm gonna come in and just kind of direct this movie too. The actual director's like, no, I'm the director.
Wait a minute. So like Kevin Costner was trying to like Bogart this movie?
Oh yeah, yeah, and he brought in script doctors during the production too, without the director's approval. One being Joss Whedon, who came
Of
in
course.
to do some bump ups on the script. And what the issue is that the Mariner is supposed to be this like Clint Eastwood like high plains
Yeah.
drifter kind
Yes.
of character, but Costner wanted it to be like, I'm a classic hero. I'm the good guy to save the day. I'm more
Want
John
to be Robin
Wayne.
Hood, Prince
Yeah,
of Thieves.
I'm more John Wayne than I am Clint Eastwood. And then you basically have two characters in the movie. The Mariner is two different people, which we'll get to that. And the score for the movie was supposed to kind of fit the post-apocalyptic world. Costner, who took over editing because the director just pieced out. He was like, near the beginning of editing, Costner was just too overbearing, and he went, "Yeah, look, dude, we're friends, but yeah, I'm out." And so Costner just took over entire post production on this movie.
Wow.
And yeah, he hated the score, and so they brought in James Newton Howard with while they were printing the movie to basically give it more of a swashbuckling hero.
I was gonna say that
Yeah.
that word right there, swashbuckling, is exactly what I would say the score is. And which, surprisingly enough, that score I have heard multiple times in other movie trailers, especially from the mid to late 90s. Like that score was used repeatedly for marketing things because of it was the action score. Yeah. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. And so this was a disaster of nature, but also nurture. We basically get two movies here. And I think that's what the big problem is that, inside this universe, we have one movie that is bubbling below the surface on top of what Costner tried to fix in post-production.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know necessarily if there's two movies. Like, upon my viewing of it, I think my thing with it, and we'll get into the plot of it, is this: it's a very messy film.
Yes.
Messy. Like every action scene that I saw in this, I'm just going, yeah, that's like $100 million right there. Like, I kid you not, every fucking action, I'm like, that's 50 mil, that's 20 mil. Oh, that scene's lit on fire? Okay, that's definitely 150 mil. Like, everything just seemed overly messy, and it almost reminded me, John, of like when you were a kid playing with action figures. And I know you and I both did this, but like, you'd have like your Batman, Bruce Wayne Manor play set, right?
Yep.
And then you'd have like, I'm assuming you had the same sort of thing because we kind of are the same person. But you had like a shit ton of action figures you had collected for years, right? Going all the way back to like when you were 5. And you would play with all those action figures in the Bruce Wayne Manor playset, right? But ultimately it was a giant fucking mess. And that's what every action scene in this movie just reminded me of, was like a giant mess of like, oh yeah, we're going to throw all of these smokers in, and we're going to have these people, and we're going to have Kevin Costner in a cage, and he's falling into quicksand, and
whatever that was,
whatever the fuck that goo was, we're going to have all this shit, and there's fire and explosion, and there's guns, and just, it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, but it was, every action scene was like that.
And it's hard with a movie like this because I'm assuming hundreds of years into the apocalypse, so
apparently
it's like
500.
Yeah. Oh, they do mention it. Okay.
Well, according to Wikipedia, according to Wikipedia, in 2500, a sea level. Okay. Well, this might be after that. So, because evolution has to take place to give us mutant Kevin Costner. But yeah, apparently in the year 2500, the sea level rises and puts all of Earth under water. But yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so, you have basically a post-apocalyptic world where people sometimes speak different languages. You don't know what each colony is all about, except, there's too much inbreeding if the place is small enough.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before we got on the air. Please, Kevin Costner's character, which Mariner, take our 14-year-old. So
Let's talk about that. Okay, I know we're jumping into it. I know we're jumping into this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we need to start from the beginning, though. Let's start from the beginning because I want to get to that moment because that moment was really fucking weird. And I've never seen in a movie that sort of thing happen. Okay. So the Mariner is Kevin Costner's bizarro character. We're introduced to him on a boat drinking his own piss.
All right, that's a great way to start. I mean, okay. I
no
have
desalination. Yeah. No, the technology behind desalination apparently doesn't exist. But hey, you can take your own piss and turn it into fresh water.
See, now I have to divert your diversion.
Divert my diversion.
Okay, here's the biggest plot hole in this movie. Polar ice caps are fresh water. And if it's gotten to the point where the water level has risen so much that skyscrapers are buried deep beneath the sea, that means the water is most likely okay to drink.
Bingo. I realized that. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm pretty sure that if all of that melts, it dilutes the salt. Like, that's the whole deal, right? Isn't that what it does? Like, it's like when you put an ice cube into a glass of water, eventually that cold dilutes the room temperature water, just like it would dilute the salt. I'm sure we're going to get someone who is a water scientist to comment and tell us, no, you're full of shit. You're wrong.
Where's Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah, where's he at? We'll bring you on the show. You can tell us all about the universe and how we were wrong about Waterworld. But yeah, I just, the fact it opens up with him drinking his own piss in a world covered by water, just kind of sets the tone for the whole fucking thing.
Well, too, I mean, after like the huge opening set piece and hey, you seem to know where to get dirt. You want to like marry our.
Why is the dirt valuable, John? We're not even getting to that part. Like, the dirt has value.
Oh, it helps make plants and stuff. But where do they get the seeds?
Yeah. Where do they get the seeds from? So yeah, this is all over the place. By the way, in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But yes, the Mariner, he has a jar of dirt, a la Pirates of the Caribbean, and he goes to what are basically these little like cells of civilization. Okay. And you think of them as like floating trading posts. Okay. So while he goes there, he turns his dirt into cash using some kind of conversion. We don't know. And yes, while he is about to leave, because everybody at the trading post knows him because he's just the Mariner. He has no name. Yeah, the elders try to hawk off a young girl who I would argue, what would you say, John? She's got to be at least 14, 15 years old.
14, something like that.
14, something. But they're trying to hawk off her to the Mariner, and they literally say, we can't marry her because over the past, like, hundreds of years, we have fucked ourselves into weirdo incest, like mutant shit. That's what's implied.
Yeah.
And because Kevin Costner is outside of the community, she's fair game.
These script rewrites were done by Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I'm just like, was Epstein involved in this one? But I'm like, was this Kevin's doing? Which Kevin was responsible for the weirdo? Here, let's pawn off this 14-year-old to some weirdo who looks like he's 40. Okay.
It probably was Costner. He's probably like, my animal magnetism. These people could not resist me.
Oh, sure.
Of course.
Okay. Okay, sure. But because he, even though he is still our anti-hero, because that's what the first half of the movie makes him out to be, as the anti-hero, he's like, nah, I'm not interested in your weird, marrying thing that's going on here. I'm going to go. And that is when they notice that Kevin Costner is not human.
Yeah. And that's, I think this is a bit of contention for people with this movie is
You
that
don't, yeah.
that he's like half dolphin.
He's I would go with like half salmon, but we can go with dolphin if you want to.
Well, one of the action sequences, he leaps out of the water, and I expected to hear that dolphin like.
He does leap. I forgot about that. He does his little legs. They do a little flappy thing, like you're floating on the water, and then he does
webbed toes, you know.
Yes. Yeah, but Kevin Costner is basically a merman.
Merman, yeah,
he's a merman, and he's got gills behind the ears and webbed toes, and apparently, like, I guess, John, I love the fact that like the elders that just 5 minutes ago were telling Kevin Costner, hey, we can't marry this girl because we've fucked ourselves to incest mutations.
I'm my own grandpa.
Suddenly like, how dare you, Fishman, exist?
Yeah.
like the whole town is like, how dare the fish man exist? Burn him, put him in the cage, douse him into some sort of weird mud stew. But 5 seconds ago, you were cool just like hawking some girl in the town to him. Yeah.
But then after this action sequence, we get, and this is my problem with Kevin Costner's character, is that he, you know, after all the shenanigans happen, he ends up on a boat with Helen and I can't remember the name of the little kid.
Enola,
who's basically our MacGuffin in the movie.
Well, there's a couple things that happen.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, but he's like, I gotta throw at least one of you in the water, and you're a bangable aid, so I'm gonna toss the kid in the water and kill it. And and she's like, no, you can have your way with me. He's like, nah, I think I'm still gonna kill her. Maybe I'll kill you too. You know, and it's like our hero, everyone. Hero.
Prior to that, John, he did like save them kinda. He saved them kinda because they saved him, because while he was about to be killed by his cage being lowered into some sort of weird goo that we don't know what it is. We don't know if it's acid or like quicksand or whatever sort of weird Waterworld shit. But we know dead bodies go into it, right? Like we know that.
That golden sauce on wings, like that mustard.
Yeah. It kind of looks like that. But yeah, he basically, while this is going on, the smokers come in, which the smokers are basically pirates.
Where do they get tobacco?
Well, there's not smokers because of the tobacco. They're smokers because they ride jet skis that have gasoline.
Right.
Or let's just call this what this really is, guzzling, because this is Mad Max on the sea.
And I think actually like 1995 level jet skis, which you can go purchase. Yeah.
Yes. These are 1995 level jet skis. But they're run by everyone's favorite whack job goofball. I love him, but Dennis Hopper plays an insane person because, of course, he does. You know.
But he is smoking. So I know that's not why they're called.
Well, he's smoking, but like everything else, what they mean by smokers is that just that,
right?
Like they run everything off of gas and oil.
But where does he get that tobacco?
Good question. Good
maybe
question.
Maybe he buys from dirt,
dry land.
That's a myth.
That's a myth.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of like they're a roving band of I'd call them what they are, pirates. And they destroy the settlement. And while the destruction is happening, which again, this is one of those holy shit, look how much money they wasted moments. Helen and Enola rescue Kevin Costner, and they end up on a boat, which, yes, as John mentioned earlier, Kevin Costner's first intuition is got to get rid of the fucking kid. She's going to die. Kill her.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to Dennis for a second. I feel that if you love this movie, you love Dennis Hopper in this. If you hate this movie, I feel that Dennis is a big reason why.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
There were times where he was actually kind of like subtle and nuanced, and then like a scene later, or even in the same scene, he suddenly starts eating the scenery which, shouldn't do that, saltwater. But no, it's eating, the scenery, and it's just like, you're too over the top.
No, he's
this
not.
is- oh, you
No,
didn't
he's
think he
not.
was over the top?
Oh no. See, listen. Dennis Hopper knows what the fuck kind of movie he's in. Okay. That's the difference here. That is the difference. Jean Triplehorn doesn't know what the fuck movie she's in. Whoever plays Enola doesn't know what the fuck movie they're in. Kevin Costner, I don't think knows what the fuck movie he's in. But Dennis Hopper, he knows exactly what fuck movie he's in. He's like, this is fucking Mad Max on the sea. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to just act ridiculous.
Kevin Costner knows what movie he's in. It's just not the movie he's in. He's just incorrect.
He thinks he's dances with wolves on the sea.
Yeah. Dances with dolphins.
With dolphins. But no, I personally, I love Dennis Hopper in this, because any chance that I could see Dennis Hopper going to an 11, I will want to watch. It's the reason why I love movies like Blue Velvet. It's for Dennis Hopper. I love movies like Space Truckers, which, oh God, John, that is a movie that we got to cover one of these days, because it is so fucking bad, but it's so good. Because it's Dennis Hopper going nuts. And like, yeah, he kind of starts off being not Frank Booth, but then he becomes Frank Booth later in the movie. Frank Booth, of course, being from Blue Velvet is, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Sometimes he does it in the same scene. He's up and down. It's like he's, like has like borderline personality disorder in this movie or something.
I mean, to be fair, he's surrounded by burning gas fumes on a daily basis. So, I mean, I'm not saying that has an effect, but it probably does.
They said the average life of a pirate, like if we go back to, what you would say, like the Johnny Depp era type of pirates.
The Arg-me Métis pirates.
Yeah, yeah, not like Somalians, but
not Somalia pirates, but the Arg-me Métis.
Like their average lifespan was like 37 years old because of dehydration. So
and scurvy.
Yeah, like
don't forget the scurvy.
There's no way Dennis Hopper's still alive in this world.
Oh, well, let's be honest here, John. No one would be alive in a water world, because just the simple fact that you don't have access to nutrition, so you would die. Like, if we go by the logic that they can't drink the water that's there, and they've lost the technology to do desalinization, that's a big word. Then yeah, they're all dead. So like the whole concept of this movie even happening is like everyone who has muscles in this movie shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Simply for the fact that there's no fresh fruit. There's no protein outside of maybe fish.
A lot of mercury.
But like even like that, like do we know if kelp still exists? Do we know that? We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But like, yeah, there's a lot of things in this movie that no one should be alive.
It's one of those
premise
like
exists.
They just want you to buy in. Like, just
totally
sit down, enjoy the show. It's like It's like Hunger Games. Like the studio's like, well, everybody should look real malnourished and sickly because they're like extremely poor and the government runs everything. It's like, yeah, but we want to put really good looking people in the movie so young people want to come and see it. Oh, okay, then screw that. Yeah,
yeah. So. All right. So as Helen and Enola are on the boat, Helen the mariner, who starts off kind of being gruff and like says, I wish you all would die so I could just get back to my boat because I love my boat. Mariner loves his boat so much. He doesn't even like it when Enola colors on it. Like he's got serious problems with there being crayons on it. But this kind of leads to a bonding between everybody, right? Like they all become a family unit on the boat very quickly.
I guess. Are you talking about the time that he throws her in the water and nearly kills her? Because somehow
there is that.
In a water world, she does not know how to swim.
That should not be possible. Seriously, that the fact that no writer was like, hey, that shouldn't exist. Like if you've got guys who literally are mutated into semi-fish people, then everybody should know how to swim because You don't got any fucking dry land.
It would be like, unless somebody had a medical issue, like they're swimming in the water and then somebody throws them on the land and be like, no, they don't know how to walk.
Well, that happens at the end. That happens at the end when they're like, I've got land sickness.
Yeah.
When Kevin Costner's like, yeah, I can't move on the land because of the land sickness. It's like, so the fact it doesn't move is the problem.
just swish back and forth, Kevin. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, they kind of become a family unit, and they, Mariner warms up to them, but Helen is kind of convinced that dry land exists, and the Mariner has been like, I'm sick of your shit. I'm going to show you where the dry land is, because the whole idea is like, well, where the hell did he get the dirt? And it turns out, they, the Mariner takes Helen down to the bowels of the sea. Don't ask me how he is able to do that, especially considering the pressure.
Well, I guess if he's got gills, he has all the fish powers now. It's like when Spider-Man gets bit by a spider, but he also has super strength. Sure.
Sure. Whatever. You got whatever you got.
Spiders have super strength. Sure.
Spiders have super strength. I guess. Sure. But no, I did find it funny that like when he takes her down to see the city that's covered in water, and he reveals like, oh yeah, I'm basically digging up dirt from the bottom of the sea, put it into a jar, and that's what I'm bringing to like the town. And then all the shit I'm finding is from the civilization that was there. Like she has her breakdown moment, and then of course they like, make love.
Because of course. Even though earlier in the movie she's like, if you don't kill this kid, you can rape me. It's fine. And then he just kind of like, doesn't he like honk a titty and go, nah.
Well, he tries to hawk her off to another guy.
Oh yeah, let's not.
We forgot to mention that. He tries to hawk her off.
What is that scene about? Like, why?
I don't know.
And like,
it's just there.
Is it a setup to against this guy, or did he just have a change of heart at the end and go, no, I'm not going to let you I'm not going to human traffic.
Doesn't he like basically say like, well, you're a drifter, I'll trade you this lady?
Yeah.
For whatever. Like, isn't that what he does?
So he's like the worst person ever.
Yeah. But we're supposed to root for him, John. He's the hero.
There goes my hero. That's all I can do. Legally.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just thinking of the Nickelback Hero song. That's what I was thinking of. And there's a hit. Yeah, there you go. That's all I can say too.
Or Enrico Iglesias like, "Are you be your hero?"
Well, that's all you can do. That's all you can do. But yeah, he tries to hawk her off to Kim Coates of Sons of Anarchy fame. Great show, by the way. He plays a crazy drifter, of course. Kim Coates, by the way, had a breakout career in the 90s and early 2000s, because not only was he in this fucking movie, but he was also in Battlefield fucking Earth.
Oh God, he knows how to pick them.
He does. He had a couple goose eggs, but then he lands a role like in Sons of Anarchy, which if you haven't seen that series, is great series. But yeah, he takes Helen, and then of course, because that's like literally rape, I guess Kevin Costner changes his mind and is like, yeah, no, sorry.
I know I said go ahead.
Yeah. At the 11th hour, yes. Yeah. But he's the hero. Yay.
Never. Yeah, this scene did not really need to exist or exist in this fashion if we're supposed to like have Kevin Costner be our protagonist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the scene where he says, "I'll throw the kid into the water," did enough to show that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, so let's recap. He wants to murder a child, and
yes.
he's into human trafficking.
Well, I mean, it's the code of the sea, John. Like even
maritime law.
Like, maritime law. It's the code of the sea. Oh, what's that? You have females on your boat? I guess the code of the sea in the water world is you gotta hawk them to drifters. Fucking weird, man. Just horrible. But yeah, I forgot to mention, that while the Mariner and Helen are down exploring the underworld of the sea, what do we got here? Oh yeah, Dennis Hopper and his crew of smokers kidnap Enola because Enola.
Who didn't see that coming?
I mean, you left the MacGuffin on the boat,
which
that's going to happen.
I know that it's just a quick piece of exposition to move on, but he's like, yeah, only one of you could fit in there, and you're an adult. I want to show you. The kid can wait up here. It's like, I think the kid could have fit in there.
The kid could have fit down there.
Yeah, I mean,
they weren't going down there too long. It's not like she'd be out of air.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the explanation. Oh, there's just enough air for.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is like, if you've got two people down there, then there's not enough air for you and the giant diving bell. But whatever.
But wouldn't this been like an interesting reveal in this movie if they didn't have the beginning exposition of in 2500 BC the polar ice caps or AD polar ice caps melted, covering all the whoa, no dry land. Like maybe there's no explanation, like, and we think maybe we are in like a different type of universe. But then when Kevin Costner takes her down there and we see like cities, it's like, oh, this is a commentary on global warming and what can happen to our world. But no, we were just told it would be like at the beginning of Planet of the Apes and like
I was going to say,
he's like, after the Americans nuked each other and all that's left is a couple of dolls and the Statue of Liberty. Monkeys have evolved. It's like, now enjoy the movie. It's like, oh, you took all the fun out. But wouldn't it be better for this to be the reveal?
I don't think this movie's that deep, John. I don't think this is the movie that's supposed to make you think. I think this is the movie that's supposed to make you not think at all. But yeah, Enola is captured because we didn't mention this, but Enola has her MacGuffin, which is
human
that
MacGuffin. Yeah,
she really is, that she has a tattoo on her back that apparently is the map to dry land. Apparently.
Which people are like, oh, but the map doesn't make any sense. And one guy's like, you turn it upside down? It's like, oh, shit. We should have just turned it upside down.
Could have just turned it upside down.
Like I don't remember the exact thing, but yeah,
that's. I mean, I think that's pretty much exactly what it was turn it upside down. And oh, look at that! It points directly to dry land. But barring the fact also that no one can speak the language that is written on her back.
Yeah,
because languages don't exist anymore because it's been like hundreds of years. That would be like if someone were to say, okay, I want you to decipher ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs without any sort of things to give you insight into what those things are, what those hieroglyphs are.
Yeah.
Like
you're just guessing.
You're just guessing. That's literally all it is. They're just guessing. But yeah, so Dennis Hopper steals her and is about to kill Helen and the Mariner, and ultimately they're able to escape underwater, but the smokers set fire to the boat.
Not the boat.
Not the boat. Kevin Costner's favorite boat. Not Jenny.
The most beautiful name I could think of.
The most beautiful name. But after the boat gets set on fire, apparently they encounter Gregor, Gregor is a funny character, so you probably have seen his face in a bunch of the movies. I think he passed away, but Michael Jeter plays Gregor, the only scientist in the entire Waterworld.
He's Da Vinci, pretty much.
He's Da Vinci.
Yeah.
I kind of consider him like the Farnsworth of the planet, like from Futurama. It kind of reminds me of that because he's floating around. He escaped the original settlement via his flying machine, and apparently a flying machine doesn't rely on gasoline or anything like that, and was still floating, and it spotted the fires and the smoke, and he's able to rescue the mariner and Helen, and they meet up with survivors of the settlement.
But by the way, like that is,
Yeah.
they have been days or weeks at sea on Costner's boat, and he just happens to stumble upon them. The likelihood of that, I think, is near impossible.
Of course it is. I mean, yeah.
And right when they need him too.
John, you're arguing about things like that. I'm arguing about the fact that this man has been able to manufacture a flying machine that still is flying after a couple days.
Yeah.
In a time when there's no technology to even desalinate the water.
Yeah.
People are drinking their own fucking piss, John. But this man here developed a flying machine.
I would have loved if in that opening scene, like Costner drinks his own pee, and then the camera just pans over to like bottles of Aquafina. Like,
wait a minute. He's like, I found these bottles of Aquafina buried in the dirt at the bottom of the ocean. I don't know how to open them up though.
Yeah. I keep chewing the side, but to no avail.
Yeah. When he evolved into a merman, unfortunately, that common sense part of humanity didn't evolve either.
Or he's like, "Oh no, I'm not going to drink that bottled fresh water. I'm not a savage. I'm going to drink my own urine."
I guess the fact that this guy has a flying fucking machine, but no one can desalinate water, it just blows my mind. Like that right there, I'm just like, okay, but whatever. We'll believe the world of the movie. But yeah, they meet up with survivors, and this is, of course, the moment where, John, I think you would decide that this is when the movie kind of changes into a separate film, because Costner now is the hero, because he's going to go rescue Enola from the pirates.
Yeah, pretty much. He becomes Superman at this point.
He totally becomes like nothing can kill him, man. Like the amount of moments where Kevin Costner is put into absolute fucking danger and should be dead is kind of incalculable. Like he takes a jet ski, goes to the Deacon's like Exxon Valdez like tanker, and is able to infiltrate the place. And doesn't he like do it like a big jump onto the boat?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay,
that's where the dolphin sound.
I think he jumped down into the. He did like a weird went down in the sea, then jumped up.
Because he got web toes.
He got web toes.
You can do that when you got web toes.
Yeah, and he ultimately rescues Enola, but he also lights a flare and throws it down into the oil off the tanker, blowing it to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, you would think like if I'm thinking like a zombie apocalypse movie, like if you overtake the enemy's compound, you should probably raid it for supplies and stuff before you just blow it to Kingdom Come. But yeah, hey. But he's like, I've come for my friend, and it's like, wait, you mean the kid you tried to kill, and then also had her older female, because it's not her mom, but
it's not her mom,
but her older female friend, like human trafficked and raped. Yeah, my friend,
friend.
And Hopper's like, she talks too much. 1995 male writers.
Yeah, man. She talks too much. She's got a smart mouth.
Women be yapping.
Yeah, man. 95, man. That was a time. But I think my favorite part is after this, because this movie, being like a lot of 90s action films, has like 3 endings. Okay, like there's a lot of movies that were 90s action films that had these sort of like 3 endings. So like in my mind, the Exxon Valdez blowing up, that's ending number 1. You could credits roll right there and then. But we can't have that, because that just gets rid of most of Deacon's minions, right? Instead, we have to have this weird like three-way chase thing that happens with the Deacon and two of his goons trying to get Enola because he ends up shooting her as she's on the boat, on the flying machine, excuse me. She falls down, which, by the way, she'd be dead.
Yeah.
You fall from that height and you hit water, you're dead.
San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge has the highest number of people to commit suicide on that bridge because you got about a 95% chance if you jump off the bridge when you hit the water. It's like hitting cement.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Enola, when she falls off the flying machine into the water, that height, she's dead. But being that this is, of course, Kevin Costner's movie, she's in the middle of the ocean. Hopper, two of his goons, trying to triangulate and get her. And I secretly love this scene, but at the same time, like, this is fucking ridiculous. Costner grabs bungee cord, ties it. It doesn't tie it to anything, by the way. He just jumps off, gives it to Helen, says, tie this off. He jumps out, grabs Enola, bungee jumps straight up, and we get this explosion scene. And then a la a Die Hard with a Vengeance, like tilting head up shot.
Yeah. Oh, they did not
Die Hard with a Vengeance. That was Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
That was Die Hard 2. Yeah. That was a common thing. You always saw those sort of scenes. Like, I think even Mission Impossible, not Mission Impossible. No, James Bond in GoldenEye had a same sort of thing. But it was the tilt up shot with the camera pointing straight down. And you'd have the massive explosion and the main character for almost every 90s action movie had that scene. But this is Costner's, and it's fucking ridiculous, but it's secretly like probably my favorite shot in the whole movie.
It's very Looney Tunes, actually.
It is totally Looney Tunes. Like you almost want to make a sound effect like boo whoop, like as he pulls back up. Oh shit.
But yeah, so then we get
Deacon dies.
Yeah. Then we get so ending 3 is when they actually do get to dry land.
No, well, ending 2 is the bungee jump, and then ending 3 is when we actually do get to dry land. Because again, we looked at Enola's tattoo backwards, upside down.
Did they actually need dry land? I guess it's a little too dystopian to actually not find dry land. But
John, they weren't making a sequel to this fucking movie.
Well, I bet originally they thought, oh yeah, we're gonna make 10 of these Waterworld.
I mean, they probably thought originally when they were not shooting that we can make 3 of these things, but the minute they were in the water and the minute all sorts of crazy shit was happening, the minute Kevin Costner lost his fucking mind and became the Mariner, they stopped. They knew they weren't making a sequel. But yeah, I think we have to show dry land just because it's not a myth and we have to have that payoff. But like any Western, the hero cannot stay with the people. He has to go on to the next thing. And so the Mariner leaves.
Come back, Shane.
Yeah. But the Mariner leaves because of the land sickness. Because he's a fish man.
He would have to stay in the water, wouldn't he? I
mean, at least that, or I don't know, someone would have to get him some fish pellets and give it to him every couple days, that sort
just
of
some
thing.
blood worms, just crush them up and feed them.
What do you eat, Mariner? Oh, well, those little pellets you get at the pet store, that's what I eat. You got any shrimp? I love shrimp.
Those things are just, I worked at a pet store for a summer and there were piranha and I had to crush up frozen bloodworms and drop them in there.
You had to feed them to the piranhas?
Yeah. You just drop them in the top of the tank and eventually
what pet store has piranhas?
It was Heartland Pets in Erie, PA.
That's kind of weird to have piranhas at a pet store, John.
Yeah. We had scorpions, we had all kinds of things there. Yeah.
That sounds kind of like your pet store would have been featured on like Tiger King.
Maybe.
Like it would have been the pet store that all of the weirdos wanted to get their exotic pets from. They go to your pet store because they're like, you know what I want? I wanted a goldfish and I want a fucking piranha. Sir, I don't think you should get those two fish. They're kind of not compatible.
Mix those. Yeah.
Don't mix those, but why not? I think it'd be cool to watch. Okay.
The owner of the place would only come in every once in a while to price stuff, and then he would eat dog treats.
No, he wouldn't.
There was a specific type of dog treat that he enjoyed.
It was milk bone, wasn't it?
No, it was one of the ones that looked more like cookies, and he would just eat them.
Ate the dog treats.
Yeah, and the people who had been there for a long time, because like again, I was just there for the summer, but people had been there for a long time. They go, yeah, he does that. He's quite the character. And I'm like, you guys are just used to this, huh? Like it's the most normal thing in the world.
I'm a loss for words. I'm a loss for words. It's almost as bad as drinking your own urine in a water world, right? But yeah, they get dry land. You also find that Enola's parents have died, and their corpses are there. Which, hey, that's cool. We had to see that.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not? And that's the end of the movie. Did you know that they actually had they had another cut of this movie called the Ulysses cut, in which the mariner gets a name?
Oh, I did not know they named it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. This movie, it really feels like one of those like Halloween 6 or Alien 3. It's just like, oh, there's so many different cuts.
So it is identified, and I'm pulling this totally from Wikipedia. It's identified that in that cut, 171 minutes runtime, and features a lot of scenes that were fleshing out characters and settings. It identifies dry land as Mount Everest. So there's that. Yeah, and the mariner, it gets a name from Helen of the name Ulysses. Which, how would she know who that is?
Yeah, I'm assuming every book is gone.
They were surprised by National Geographic magazines, John. Like, I mean, like how would you know?
Oh yeah, remember at one point he's like, "I'll sell you some paper. Look, there's fucking paper. Can you believe it?" You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they shouldn't have that knowledge. But this isn't like the Time Machine, where like they clearly explain, like in that movie, The Time Machine, like, oh yes, we have taken this knowledge and given it down for generations so that people have some sort of knowledge, even if it's like weirded out knowledge and it's not 100%. None of that's here. There's no reason she should know the name Ulysses.
No. But this movie is just riddled with plot holes and issues.
I mean, John, how many plot holes did you find in this one? Like, there's some big plot holes that popped out to you.
I mean, again, to go back to the beginning of this episode, like polar ice caps are fresh water, so there's not even a conflict.
Totally.
I mean, if you start with that, like shit, but you could say like, oh well, paper's a rare commodity, but tobacco isn't. Like, Hopper's just smoking cigarettes left and right. Like,
where is he getting the paper from?
Yeah, because he rolled the cigarettes, didn't he?
Yeah. Where did he get the paper from? Where did he get the tobacco leaves from? How are people not dead from scurvy?
Yeah.
Like, no one should have muscles in this world. They should have wasted away. Half of the people should be dead from skin cancer because there's no fucking shade anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. That's all I got is whatever. All right. Are you ready to get to some reviews, John?
Oh, just to kind of finish before we get to the reviews.
Okay,
before we get to some reviews, is that I feel that I do understand where a lot of people are coming from in this movie, because a couple of things I wrote down is every character seems, except for like Dennis Hopper, like everybody seems kind of one-dimensional. I don't really care about anybody. I don't remember anybody's name. Therefore it's hard to care about anybody. I do feel that we're watching like two different movies, and as I've not mentioned yet, the action sequences are almost too inflated, and then in between them it moves almost too slow. And I'm the type of person that, please give me character development and universe building, but just there were so many times on that boat, I'm like, can something please fucking when do we get to the fireworks factory?
Don't worry, John, you'll get it on the Exxon Valdez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, none of that really bothered me. I did think this movie was way too fucking long to begin with. But,
Yeah.
I guess for me, like the moments when we did get action, it was like jumping to an 11. And most of the time when you see action movies, they ramp up each action set piece one at a time. Like, I'll give you an example. Okay, Independence Day. Okay. There's multiple action scenes that occur in that movie, and they start off as simply, okay, the aliens are arriving. Look at all the chaos that brings. Then what happens? The aliens nuke all of the major cities. Look at that chaos. That was a lot. But it's not like the peak. It's just, okay, shit's gotten real. Then it becomes, all right, let's go ahead and try to have a counterattack against the aliens in Houston. What's going to happen there? Oh, it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And then we get a one that grows up, another one. Okay, now we've got the, Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. They're going to go to the mothership. And there's that whole sequence. And at the same time, we're having the aliens are converge on Area 51. So, like, there's a ramp up. Imagine, John, if every action scene in Independence Day was at the same level as, say, the Area 51, Jeff Goldblum, and Will Smith escaping the mothership scene. Like, if it was starting there and every single action scene was that, because that is what this movie totally feels like to me, is like there is no ramp up. Everything is one giant fucking set piece and one giant fucking explosion, to the point where even like Costner's boat getting lit on fire seems way bigger than it has to be.
Yeah.
So like that's why I think the big problem is there's no ramp up. It's just one massive spike in action at the same intensity after another.
And you don't feel anything,
No, you don't. All right. With that said, you ready to get to some fucking reviews?
All right, let's do it.
All right. Now, John has not seen these reviews. For those of you who are not familiar with this section of the podcast, this is where I pull some reviews, more often not from Letterboxd, but could also find them from other places. This time around, actually, to find them from a couple different places. But we're going to take a look at some reviews and we're going to react to them on Waterworld. So, John, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So, review number 1. All I choose to remember about this movie was watching Kevin Costner drink his own pee.
I mean, there is the bell curve of things where it's like you remember something at the beginning and at the end, and the movie opens up with him, just scarfing that sweet piss.
How do we get, there's oftentimes where like introducing a character in a movie, you get a lot about that character. I think back to Rear Window and how we're introduced to Jimmy Stewart's character through, look at all of the pictures that he's taken. Look at how he is now in a cast and look at all this stuff. All of that kind of tells you everything about the character. But then in this one, it's Kevin Costner drinks his own urine.
And doesn't even flinch.
What does that say?
Yeah. Does not flinch, which means, man, he must be just used to the taste.
Jesus, you know what? It's just the yellow is for color.
And that means, God, he has to be drinking it a lot. Because like the thing is, my favorite thing is I'm a bourbon guy, but it still doesn't mean that I haven't drank so much of it in my life that I still don't go, ugh, a little sometimes, like if it's strong, So the idea that he doesn't even flinch drinking his own pee means that
he's just like, you know what? It's just, this is my warning thing. What do? I get up in the morning, I drink my piss. There we go. We're good.
It's my man-pull juice. Yeah.
It's man-pull juice. Don't ask what he does with his jizz. If he's drinking his pee, what is he doing with that?
That's protein.
Oh, gross. What does he do with his shit? What do you got for food? Oh, I've got these cookies.
That's the thing. Like,
so make them.
Do all three of them just squat over the side of the boat, just plop turds into the ocean?
Well,
Like
sure.
dogs.
I mean, yeah, like dogs.
I wanted to see that,
You're not going to see that part of the Waterworld, John.
Costner tries to say something real badass, and then he just squats and just plop, 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 plop.
I don't know. How do fish poop? That's what I would love to know, because that's probably how he poops. Oh, geez. All right, let's go to review number 2.
All right.
Well, this is a long one.
Ooh.
So this is from, I think I found this from IMDb, but it's Don't See This Film. I'm going to start off saying that this is the worst movie I have ever seen. The plot and summary make it look mildly good, but it's not. My reasoning? Dirt. For some reason, dirt and paper are two of the most valuable things in this movie. I can understand paper, but dirt? All you would have to do is swim down a couple thousand feet and grab a handful of the seafloor. Costner did it on a single breath of air, which brings me to Costner. He is my least favorite actor. Honestly, I've never met someone who thinks he's the best. His only good performance was in Dances with Wolves. Good movie, but this is about Waterworld. The whole plot is based on a map on a girl's back, and these smokers are trying to get her. Sounds like someone had a little too much of something before writing this. Take it from me, worst movie ever made. Trust me.
Worst movie ever made is a little bit of a stretch.
I don't know if I call it worst movie ever made.
But also, he doesn't go on one breath down there. He has gills.
He has gills. Like, yeah. Like I don't, that part, you have to divorce yourself from the reality that this man is a human. He's not. He's a merman.
Yeah.
That's what he is. You know?
And you need dirt to grow things. So
the paper thing I don't get, but the dirt stuff, if they are surviving by growing shit, which, by the way, I realize what they're doing with their own poop, that's their fertilizer.
Oh, yep. Yeah, you can't just drop all them turds in the ocean.
No, they can't drop all of the turds. But yeah, if you've got dirt and you've got your own shit, then you can grow food. Don't ask me where they got seeds. We don't know. But yeah, I guess that's why it's valuable. But no, I wouldn't call this worst movie ever. I've seen far worse. I have a couple of them back on my shelf there, Neil Breen.
This isn't even the worst Kevin Costner movie.
No. That might be the Postman. Postman might be the worst Kevin Costner film. But no, I wouldn't. I think this was bad for its time. I don't see it as bad now. And that might be just because I've seen far fucking worse than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't agree with this reviewer. All right. Let's go to review number 3. Not secretly great or anything, but certainly not as terrible as legend would have it. Either way, the production design, miniature effects, and stunt work are completely unbelievable, and it takes serious suicidal audacity to try to shoot something of this scale on open water. Imagine George Miller directing this. Oh, that would have been cool.
That would have made it 1,000 times better. But
that would have been awesome.
It was like George Romero when he directed the Resident Evil 2 commercial for the game. He said he felt like he was imitating himself. So I think George Miller would be like, I feel like I'm imitating myself. So
yeah, he would be like, why are we making my movie but now on water?
Yeah.
And I have a feeling George Miller would be like, he would have some of the same considerations, because he seems like a guy who would look at like the reality and go, this is why the things happen in this universe. Like, I totally understand when I watch, any of the Mad Max movies, you get the world because you imagine that, if we suddenly didn't have gasoline, that it would become extremely valuable and you'd see people like lose their shit. Like, I know it's it's totally a post-apocalyptic hellscape, but there's a little grain of like, would humankind go that route? I have a feeling they would. I do to some degree. But with this one, I have a feeling George Miller would be like, but the polar ice caps melt, which means the salt water wouldn't be salty anymore. Like, he would be that guy to point out those plot holes that John, you've brought up a couple times in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to review number 4. one of the wettest worlds we've seen from the standpoint of water.
Well done, my friend.
Well done. Well done. That was a good one. Yeah. Lot of water in this fucking movie. And yeah, I mean, what can you say?
That's a Trump reference there, isn't it?
I probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the standpoint of water.
From the standpoint of water, there's no, it's all computer. I think that's my favorite Trumpism is that it's all computer.
Because I think Trump said something like that about a hurricane, like in his first term. Yeah.
When he was semi-competent.
Well, by his standards.
By his standards, yeah. Not going to make it that kind of show. We're at the end of the episode. I did want to mention one thing. If you want to have your reviews shown during this review section, here's the thing. We have a Discord channel. I'm going to put links to it in the description. Go into the Discord channel, and when we put out what episode we're covering in the Discord channel, because I'm starting to do this more, I'm putting a call for reviews in there. So give me your 1 or 2 sentence reviews on the movie that we're covering. And guess what? We're going to feature it the next time we have our episode. Either that or I'm pulling straight from Letterboxd. But I really want your reviews to highlight during our review section. So do that. Just go to our Discord channel. The link is in the description of the episode. Join it and let us know, what are your thoughts on our movies?
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
I want to hear from you guys. But, John, final thoughts on Waterworld. Is this really that awful?
I'm going to very hesitantly say, no, it's not. But it's not a good film. I do believe that all of the shit that this movie got was because of its ballooning budget, that it was the most expensive movie ever made when it was made, and most people not understanding it. As I pointed out, my dad saying, like, where the hell did all that money go? Even though there were a lot of big action set pieces, that's not what cost them so much money. But I think because of the disaster of the production and it being the most expensive movie of all time, it was doomed to fail in that sense. Like, people are going to go, well, unless it's, Casablanca meets Godfather, meets Jurassic Park or whatever, like, just fill in any great movie here. Unless it lives to that standard, it's going to be thought of as a disaster. If they had brought this movie in on budget and shot it properly, it might have actually just been a forgotten movie at a time, or gotten slightly better reviews. But I think because of the disaster of the production is where everybody puts all the blame, or all the this movie is so terrible. But it's really not. It's just kind of forgettable and full of holes. But this is almost that awful, but I can't say that it's awful.
Yeah. I know for me, I totally was expecting to hate this movie more than I thought I was going. I seriously, no joke. I was going to this being like, oh God, why did John pick Waterworld? Like, that's what most often happens, is John throws a movie in there and I'm just like, oh, I don't watch it. But I didn't hate this as much as some of your other movies, John, that you've picked for this particular series, or even the Pantheon of other shit. I didn't hate this one as much as some of those. But I mean, I guess for me, the biggest problem with this movie is just how fucking loud and messy it is. And I think that, just kind of to your point, I think the behind the scenes shenanigans probably made this movie 1,000 times worse than what it actually is. This is not anything that I would say like is as bad as some other films. I mean, honestly, you could look at this and go like, I've seen Sci-Fi Channel level movies that are roughly around the same level here in terms of acting, in terms of not necessarily sets, because I do think that all of their money went up in smoke, being that these are all sets, like practical sets. Nothing here is CGI. At least as far as I could tell, I didn't see anything that being that was CGI. But yeah, I definitely don't think it is as terrible as some people make it out to be. I just think it's a meh Mad Max on the water ripoff. That's what it is. I've seen far worse.
So it's not awful, but we also don't recommend it unless.
Yeah, I don't recommend this. This is not one that I'm going to say even like. This is probably like the worst type of movie, because here's the reason why. It is. I'm going to pull from the movie Gangs of New York, when Daniel Day-Lewis says, "You are neither hot nor cold, so I will spit you out of my mouth." That's this movie. It's not so terrible that you will seek it out and go and watch it for the sake of, I want to watch a shitty fucking movie. But it's also not so good that you're going to be like, yeah, it was misunderstood for its time. It's secretly good. Nah, it really is like in the middle. Like we talked about the movie The Phantom and how it got a shit, reception initially, but I've always loved it. And I think, John, you've also liked it a little bit too. And this is not that. This is not that at all. This is very much a meh Costner movie that is really just an expensive, loud, long, Mad Max ripoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Good episode. Really good episode. John, where can they find you at on the internet?
See the Facebooks, the Instagrammers, the YouTubers. Jay does Video Nasties. Go check out the channel there, and and as Brian's about to say for this show here, like do all the YouTube stuff, because I know you know how to do it. I don't need to tell you the bell and the subscribe and all that good shit. So yeah, you know the drill by this point. So go do those things if you check out my channel.
You never know, John. They might not know the drill, which is why I have to remind them each and every episode. But they should totally do it. Of course, if you have loved this channel, please do me a favor and share it. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your favorite merman. Okay? You know who he is. He lives down the lane. Share the episode with him. He might get a kick out of it. And of course, if you want to follow us on your favorite podcast app of choice, you can do that by going to cinemapsychoshow.com/follow. You can follow us by clicking the little buttons right there. We've got them for all the different players that are out there, so you can never miss an episode by following us. And of course, if you're watching us here on YouTube, hey, thank you so much for doing that. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, and leave us a comment. Let us know down in the comments, what did you think of Waterworld? And do you think it's a Mad Max ripoff? Because I totally do, and I really want to know what your thoughts are. And with that said, we will see you next time.
When the Mariner and Helen have sex, is that bestiality? Interspecies erotica.